Hey tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now presented by Tennis Express. Tennis Express, order your favorite tennis gear at tennisexpress.com today. Alexander Zverev is thriving under intense media scrutiny in Australia. Zverev may be the most polarizing tennis player in the world right now as he faces trial this spring for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. In the meantime, he is a resurgent player, overcoming a career-threatening ankle injury in 2022 to take his place near the top of the sport once again. When it comes to Zverev, there are two sides of the coin and two sides to the story. Back in October, a court in Berlin issued a penalty order requiring Zverev to pay fines of about $500,000. But the 26-year-old contested that ruling, instead forcing that case to go to trial. Zverev has always maintained his innocence, but many insiders disapprove of the way the ATP Tour has handled the matter. The ATP said it would release an official policy on domestic abuse, but still hasn't done so. That same crowd says it's very frustrating that Netflix featured Zverev in its second season of Break Point, dedicating an entire episode to his comeback from injury, while not once mentioning that two women have accused him of domestic abuse, with the second case still unresolved. Fans and pundits voiced frustration about the ATP's relative silence about Zverev's ongoing difficulties. Sensing this discontent, ESPN talked about the case on air during his latest match and even provided a handy trial timeline for its viewers. That, of course, ticked off Zverev fans who say that conversation just didn't belong there. For a little background on this, the first accusations were made by an ex-girlfriend. The ATP conducted an investigation and found insufficient evidence of abuse, and no disciplinary action was taken. The latest allegations, which prompted the fine we mentioned, were brought by Brenda Petea, the mother of Zverev's child, who says that Zverev choked her and pushed her against a wall in 2020. And one more thing to mention about Zverev before we get to the tennis. He's recently become a member of the ATP's Player Council, which means he is an elected member of a council that makes recommendations to ATP management and its board of directors. Whether Zverev is innocent or guilty is a matter for the courts, and whether he serves as a member of the council is up to the players who elect him. We'll see how all that shakes out. Meantime, in spite of all that, Zverev is thriving on the tennis court. He took out Carlos Alcaraz impressively on Wednesday night in Melbourne, notching his first ever top 5 win at a major. On his 11th try, by the way. It was a remarkable performance from Zverev, who made 85% of his first serve, stunning Alcaraz and improving to 5-3 overall against Alcaraz's lifetime. Zverev is into his 7th Grand Slam semifinal and his first since 2020. Next up, he faces Daniil Medvedev. Even before the Australian Open, Zverev was considered a potential disruptor. This is a guy who owns 4 wins over Novak Djokovic, 2 of them in ATP finals, 1 at the ATP World Tour finals, and the other at the Olympic semifinals. Hard not to be impressed by this guy. Zverev needed most of last year, though, to recover after a traumatic injury and surgery in 2022. But now it seems he's at peak fitness once again, and we can clearly see he is a player with the potential to win a Grand Slam title, and maybe more than one. Based on how well he's playing right now, it could happen in Melbourne this weekend. Although Novak Djokovic might have a thing or two to say about that. But if it does happen, you can expect to be hearing a lot more about Alexander Zverev, good and bad. I'm Grace Carter. See you next time here on Tennis Now.